We're closer to the end of the trial, and with the looks of things, Amber Heard might end up on the losing end of this. This isn't based off of random observation, but on the specifics that took place in court today when a licensed psychologist took the stand and said a lot of stuff concerning Amber Heard's previous claim of having PTSD. What did this person say, and how does it apply to the case? Well, the thing about this witness is that she seems to be more grounded and specialized on the subject of post-traumatic stress disorder, and from the looks of things, Amber's side of the court weren't exactly happy to see her. The professional, Dr. Shannon Curry, took the stand today to speak to the court on the very subject, pointing out some of the shortcomings that Dr. Hughes, a past professional, had given on Amber's mental health. And based on what Dr. Curry mentioned, Amber might have a more severe case than we were initially led to believe. For the previous professional's statement, she told the court that her main opinion was that Amber's report of intimate partner violence, coupled with the documents she had looked at in connection to the case, are consistent with what is known in her field on intimate partner violence. She also mentioned that Amber demonstrated very clear psychological and traumatic effects from statements that were made by Depp. However, Dr. Curry seems to be of a different professional opinion on the matter. In fact, she admitted to the court that what Amber had might be considered unusual and extreme because of her exceptionally high scores in tests she ran concerning PTSD, and also mentioned that Heard, along with Dr. Hughes, might have intentionally been manipulating the tests she was given.
What's interesting about Ms. Heard's approach to different tests is that it seems to be influenced by what we call the face validity of questions on the test. So if a test looks like it's measuring PTSD, you see exaggeration on her validity scales. If the test has less face valid questions, for instance, the personality assessment which Dr. Hughes administered, the MMPI-2 which I administered, where she can't quite figure out what the questions are asking, they seem really banal in general. On those, you see extreme defensiveness, minimization of any potential pathology, essentially presenting herself as perfect and free of any mental illness or personality disorder. But on the trauma symptom inventory, which Dr. Hughes administered, that was the one that I previously indicated for ease of explanation when the test results come out for how the person approaches the test.
To back up her claims in court, Dr. Curry mentioned that there's a laid-out scale that is able to identify when a person intentionally or unintentionally tries to increase their scores on a particular test, as the program, which is called the Atypical Response Scale, is able to print the percentage to which the individual might have exaggerated on their answers. Of course, this answer had a major effect on Amber Heard's team, as they visibly looked like they were starting to panic in the courtroom. But little did they know that she still had a lot more to spill on Amber. Explaining more on what she was referring to with the scale, Dr. Curry had this to say.
And there's a really excellent scale for finding out if a person is exaggerating their symptoms of PTSD. It's called the Atypical Response Scale. And the TSI-2 is the revised version of this test, and that scale was improved this time around to really try to be a clean indication of, is this person exaggerating? And it puts quite high questions in the test that are so unusual. They might sound like PTSD, but even the most severe cases of PTSD don't have these symptoms. And so somebody who's intentionally trying to exaggerate PTSD, or possibly unintentionally, but nonetheless who's exaggerating it, is likely to endorse these items even though they're not real PTSD symptoms. Ms. Heard scored so highly on this that even
later during the course of the direct examination, Dr. Curry spoke about some timeline differences in certain tests and statements that were made by Dr. Hughes in reaching the conclusion that the actress has PTSD.
She had previously diagnosed PTSD without using what we consider to be the gold standard PTSD diagnostic interview. And again, when we're doing a forensic evaluation, it is an important responsibility.
This proves that as at the time Dr. Hughes had already diagnosed Amber with PTSD, medically, she was wrong because her timeline in administering the required tests were off, further denting Amber Heard's case. With the way things just went, Amber's team had better prepare for an ideal cross-examination, or they just might be going down with the ship. How about you? Did you also notice how worried Amber's team looked?